It was 1968. America was tearing itself apart, and country music answered back with the most heartbreaking ballads ever recorded. These weren't just songs, they were confessions.
He ran out to brush the snow away so it wouldn't die.
And here's what most fans don't know. The stories behind them are deeper than anything you heard on the radio. Today, we count down the 10 ballads that stopped the whole country cold. Stay with us. Number 10, Bill Anderson and Jan Howard for Loving You. New Year's Day, 1968, a radio playing softly in a kitchen. Two people who don't need to say much. This song said it for them. This duet was sitting at number 1 on the Billboard country chart when 1968 opened. It held that top spot until January 20th. Bill Anderson's gentle voice and Jan Howard's quiet power made it one of the most intimate duets of the era. Anderson wrote this song with Jan Howard's voice already in his head before she ever sang a note. He heard her in the words before the words were even finished. So many massive songs hit that year that this one quietly stepped aside. But it was the perfect way to open a year that needed gentleness. Some songs don't need to be the loudest in the room to matter. The next one is about a woman nobody talks about enough, and it hit the country chart like a quiet storm. Number 9, Glen Campbell. Dreams of the everyday housewife.
She looks in the mirror and stares at the wrinkles that were...
A woman at a kitchen sink, looking out the window. Somewhere in her mind, she's the girl she used to be, that quiet, private ache. Glen Campbell understood every word of it. Written by Chris Gantry, it peaked at number 3 country and crossed over to number 32 pop.
There yesterday, thanks of the young man that she almost...
Campbell was on fire in 1968, winning CMA awards and hosting his own TV show, but he still made this song feel small and personal in the best possible way.
Married, what would he think if he saw her this way?
Producer Al DeLore built the arrangement so clean and open that it feels like the walls of the house in the song itself. Every detail was intentional. Campbell had so many hits this period that this one gets skipped over.
She picks up her apron in little girl fashion as something...
Most conversations jump straight to Wichita linemen, but this song spoke for women who rarely heard themselves in a country song. That matters.
Comes into her mind, slowly starts dancing, remembering her...
Next, a man who made sadness sound like poetry. His first of 2 1968 entries is Right Now.
Hello, I'm Johnny K.
If you love real country music and the stories behind the legends, make sure you subscribe to Country Deep Dive. This channel is for people who truly appreciate the roots of country. Many of these country legends are slowly being forgotten, but their stories deserve to live on. By subscribing, you're helping keep their music and legacy alive for the next generation. And if these songs bring back memories for you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It's completely free, and it helps us continue sharing the classic country stories that made this music so special. Every story you see here takes hours of digging, piecing together history and bringing forgotten moments back to life. If you'd like to support that work, you can become a channel member. It's just the cost of a cup of coffee, but it helps us keep these stories alive, and for that, we're grateful. Number 8, Bobby Goldsboro, Autumn of My Life.
In the spring of my life.
That feeling when something is slipping away and you can't stop it. Not grief exactly, more like memory. Bobby Goldsboro lived in that feeling, and he wrote this one himself to prove it.
She came to me. She brought sunshine.
It hit number 15 country and number 2 adult contemporary in 1968. That AC number tells you everything. This song crossed into the hearts of people who didn't even know they liked country music. The lyric is about a man watching the summer of his life fade like a changing season.
Where winter winds had blown.
This came from the same album as his monster hit Honey. Two completely different emotional levels on one record. That tells you exactly what kind of writer Goldsboro was.
Then I took her for my wife.
Honey cast a long shadow over everything else he did that year, but this is the song that shows you who Goldsboro really was. Quiet, deep, true.
In the spring of my life, and she brought me.
The next song took an entire generation of women by surprise. You probably know it, but do you know the real story? Number 7, Tammy Wynette. Divorce. A mother sitting across from her little boy trying to talk about something she can't say out loud, so she spells it letter by letter because the word itself is too big for little ears.
Little man, so he spell out the...
Written by Bobby Braddock and Curly Putman, this shot straight to number 1 on the country chart. In 1968, divorce was still something people whispered about. But this song brought it to the radio with so much love and hurt that nobody could be offended. Because it wasn't about blame, it was about protection.
Words we don't want him to understand.
Tammy was living through real heartbreak when she recorded this. She wasn't performing, she was confessing. You can hear it in every note. It gets overshadowed by Stand By Your Man almost every time. But this song was just as brave. It talked about pain that polite society still refused to name out loud.
Like T-O-Y or maybe S-U-Y.
The next man had one of the most extraordinary years any country artist has ever had. And this ballad came from a place no man should ever have to visit. Number 6, Eddie Arnold, Then You Can Tell Me Goodbye.
Hold me each evening by your side.
By 1968, Eddie Arnold had been in country music for over 2 decades, smooth voice, never a wasted note. And when he walked into RCA that year, he had no idea it would be the last time he'd hear his name called from the top of the chart.
Tell me you love me for a...
Written by John D. Loudermilk, it hit number 1 in October 1968, and it was Arnold's 28th number 1. At the time, that was a record nobody else had touched, and it was his last. The man went out at the very top. Arnold was one of the first country artists to embrace the polished Nashville sound.
million years. Then if it don't work,
Some hardcore fans gave him grief for it, but 28 number 1s don't lie. Outlaw country was coming. The sweet, polished sound started feeling old-fashioned to a younger crowd, but some of the most important music ever made is gentle. Don't let anyone tell you different.
out. Then if it don't work out,
The next man didn't write from a studio chair. He wrote from lived experience, raw, real, behind bars. Number 5, Merle, Haggard. Sing Me Back Home. A guitar picking softly, a voice that sounds like gravel and something even heavier than that. A story from inside a place you never want to be, but once you hear it, you'll never forget it. Haggard had spent real time in San Quentin. He wasn't writing about prison from the outside looking in, he had lived it. In 1968, he dominated the country chart with 3 number 1s and 8 total weeks at the top. Sing Me Back Home was one of those chart toppers, a song about a condemned man's last wish. Just hear one more song before it all ends. The inspired it was a real inmate at San Quentin named Rabbit. Merle watched him walk that last walk, and years later he turned that memory into a song that will outlive everyone who was in that. Merle had so many iconic songs that this one gets lost in the flood. But this quiet, devastating ballad about the last moment of a man's life might be the most human thing he ever recorded. Top 4 now. And the woman about to take this countdown by storm had a year in 1968 that no other country artist, male or female, has ever matched. Number 4, Tammy Wynette, Take Me to Your World.
If you can find it in your heart.
Before she was the first lady of country music, before Stand By Your Man made her a legend, there was this song, a young woman from Mississippi, a voice that could crack a wall, and a prayer, Take Me Somewhere Love Is Real.
To just forgive.
This was Tammy's first number 1 of 1968, the first of 3. Producer Billy Sherrill built the sound just rich enough to frame her voice without swallowing it. The song is a woman asking the man she loves to stop keeping her at a distance. In 1968, that kind of vulnerability from a female artist could stop a room cold.
I'll come back and live the way.
Tammy was a hairdresser before Nashville. She had raised kids alone and worked long shifts just to survive. When she finally got her shot, she didn't waste a second. 3 number 1s in 1 year from a hairdresser from Mississippi. Every Tammy song in 1968 got overshadowed by the next Tammy song in 1968.
You wanted me to live.
This one opened the door, but what walked through it was so big that the door itself got forgotten. It deserves better.
All I want is just to be your.
Number 3 made grown men cry in public, and nobody was ashamed. It hit country and pop at number 1 the same year. Number 3, Bobby Goldsboro, Honey.
Then the first snow came and she ran out to brush the snow away.
You're in your car, AM radio playing, and then a song comes on that changes the air inside that car completely. Heavier, quieter, like something just walked in and sat down next to you. That was Honey.
So it wouldn't die. Came running in.
Written by Bobby Russell and recorded on United Artists, this song about a man remembering his late wife hit number 1 on the Billboard, Hot 100, and number 1 on the country chart in 1968.
All excited, slipped and almost hurt herself.
That kind of double crossover doesn't happen often. It happened because this wasn't just a country song, it was a human song.
She was always young at heart, kind of.
Honey was turned down by several artists before Goldsboro recorded it. They said it was too sad, too heavy for radio. He recorded it anyway. It became one of the biggest selling singles of the entire decade. Critics call it sentimental, but the people who heard this song the week after a funeral, they know what it did for them.
Dumb and kind of smart, and I loved her so.
Music that makes you feel less alone is never too much. It's exactly enough. Top 2 and number 2 is one of the most celebrated songs in all of American music. Not just country, all of it. Stay with me. Number 2, Jeannie C. Riley, Harper Valley PTA.
You all a story about a Harper Valley widowed wife.
A small town, a widow, a note from school telling her how to live her life, and a woman who walks into that P.T.A. meeting and tells the whole room exactly what she thinks. You could feel the temperature drop the moment this hit the radio.
Who had a teenage daughter who attended Harper Valley Junior High.
Written by Tom T. Hall, this did something almost no country song had done before it hit number 1 on the country chart and the pop chart in the same week. Jeannie C. Riley went from unknown to household name overnight. Over 1 million copies sold in just 9 days.
Well, her daughter came home one afternoon and didn't.
Jeannie was working as a secretary in Nashville when she recorded this. Tom T. Hall had offered it around town, and nobody wanted it too edgy, too sarcastic. She recorded it in one take and changed her life forever.
Even stop to pray. And she said, Mama,
Riley never matched this level again, but the song became a movie, a TV series, and a permanent symbol of a woman standing up to small-town hypocrisy. That story never gets old.
Out here from the Harper Valley PTA.
And number one, critics still call it one of the greatest songs ever recorded, not just in country, in all of American music.
Hello, I'm Johnny K.
If you love real country music and the stories behind the legends, make sure you subscribe to Country Deep Dive. This channel is for people who truly appreciate the roots of country. Many of these country legends are slowly being forgotten, but their stories deserve to live on. By subscribing, you're helping keep their music and legacy alive for the next generation. And if these songs bring back memories for you, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It's completely free, and it helps us continue sharing the classic country stories that made this music so special. Every story you see here takes hours of digging, piecing together history, and bringing forgotten moments back to life. If you'd like to support that work, you can become a channel member. It's just the cost of a cup of coffee, but it helps us keep these stories alive, and for that, we're grateful. Number one, Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues.
From Jackson, Tennessee, W.S. Holland.
January 13th, 1968, a prison in California. Johnny Cash walks out on a stage in front of over 2,000 inmates, and before he sings a single word, the place explodes. That roar you hear at the start of that recording is not applause. It is something much deeper than that.
I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling around the bend, and
Cash had been trying to record inside a real prison for years. Columbia Records kept saying no, too risky, too dark. He pushed until they said yes. The live recording of Folsom Prison Blues hit number one on the country chart in 1968.
seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps...
The full album went on to become one of the best-selling live albums in American music history. Columbia almost shelved the whole project. Some radio programmers refused to play it. Cash didn't care. He understood something about the men in that room that most of Nashville didn't want to touch, what it feels like to be forgotten.
keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling.
To be written off. When he walked out on that stage, those inmates didn't hear a country star. They heard someone who saw them. That is why this recording still stops people cold almost 60 years later.
On down to San Antone. When I was just a baby, my...
This is not just a country song. It is a document of a moment when one man stood in a room full of people the world had given up on and gave them something real. That is what the very best country music has always done. Number one, no debate.